You're listening to the Lofi Music Academy podcast, your go-to space for all things lo-fi. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of lo-fi music production.
Hi, and welcome to the Lofi Music Academy podcast. I'm Spencer J, your guide through the chilled-out, atmospheric world of lo-fi beats. Well, today we're asking a really interesting question, and that's, can lo-fi beats actually make you a better producer? On the surface of things, lo-fi might seem simple, laid-back drum grooves, mellow chords, some vinyl crackle. But what if I told you that making lo-fi tracks could sharpen your ear, improve your workflow, and give you skills that transfer into any genre of music production? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. So grab your favourite drink and let's get into it. One of the biggest reasons lo-fi is such a powerful genre for beginners is that it's approachable. Unlike something like EDM or maybe trap, where you might need, say, 50 tracks in your session and a massive sound design, lo-fi thrives on simplicity. Most tracks are built around just a few elements: a mellow chord progression, a drum groove, some bass, and maybe a texture or two. Because of that, lo-fi acts as a training ground. It lowers the barrier to entry, and that means you can focus on finishing music, not just starting it. And here's the thing, finishing tracks is a skill in itself. The more songs you complete, the better you get at structuring, arranging, and trusting your instincts. Lo-fi encourages that practice. So in a way, producing lo-fi is like learning to cook with just a few ingredients. But once you know how to make a simple but tasty dish, you can expand to trying more complex recipes. Another reason why lo-fi can make you a better producer is ear training. Because lo-fi relies so heavily on texture and vibe, you're constantly listening really closely to what's going on. So how does that Rhodes piano sound with its dusty vinyl crackle? Is that reverb tail too long? Or is it just right for the mood of the track? And does that hi-hat feel too sharp? Or should I soften it a little to make it fit in better with the track? By working in a genre that celebrates subtle details, you train your ear to really notice those small differences in sound. That kind of sensitivity to small detail is huge, especially when you move into other styles, whether you're EQing a vocal in pop music or layering synths in an EDM track. So if you're producing lo-fi, you're essentially building an internal library of sounds and textures, and you'll carry that ear training through into everything else you make going forward. Now let's talk about mixing. Lo-fi teaches you discipline, especially when it comes to balancing the track. You don't have hundreds of elements all competing for space. You might have just 5 or 6. So that means every sound matters. You can't hide behind a wall of effects or massive giant drop downs. Instead, you're learning how to carve out space with EQ, use gentle compression to glue the whole mix together, or add warmth using saturation. Lo-fi producers get really good at subtlety, making sure each sound sits just right in the mix. And when you develop that kind of skill, guess what? Mixing bigger, more complex genres, well, it just becomes way easier because you already know how to balance the fundamentals. One of my favourite things about lo-fi is how it encourages creativity and fast workflows. You'll often hear producers talking about resampling, chopping up old samples, or recording little imperfections like pen clicks or rain sounds and vinyl static. These kind of creative touches make your tracks stand out, and they teach you to think outside of the box. But here's another thing, lo-fi encourages workflow habits. Because the genre doesn't demand overly polished, radio-perfect production. That means you can finish a track in a short session. And that means you can develop a habit of creating every day, or even for just 20 minutes. Instead of spending months perfecting one song, you're finishing more music, learning faster, and building your confidence as a music producer. It's a mindset shift of progress over perfection, and that's really powerful. So let's quickly tie it all together. By making lo-fi beats, you're not just making chilled background music, you're training yourself as a music producer. You're sharpening your ear for tone and texture. You're learning discipline in mixing. You're building creative habits and finishing more tracks. And you're developing transferable skills that apply to any style of music production. Think of lo-fi like weight training for your creativity. Even if you move on to other genres later, the skills that you develop in lo-fi, they will stay with you forever. So at the beginning we asked ourselves, can lo-fi beats make you a better producer? Well, yes, they actually absolutely can. And whether you're just starting out or you've been producing for a while, working in lo-fi is one of the best ways to train your ear, refine your workflow, and grow yourself as an artist. And my challenge to you is this: set yourself aside some time this week to make a short lo-fi track. Don't overthink it, just focus on finishing, listening closely to the sound choices that you make, and see what you learn in the process. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing it with fellow music producers who might find it useful. Until next time, keep creating, stay inspired, and remember, it's all about the vibe. Take care and see you in the next episode.
Thanks for tuning in to the Lofi Music Academy podcast. If you're ready to start making lo-fi music and want to go even deeper, grab your free guide. Discover the 6 essential steps to create a release-ready lo-fi track from scratch. Whether you're using budget gear in your bedroom or a small home studio, this guide will help you get that polished, dreamy lo-fi sound you're after. Just go to www.lofimusicacademy.com. Until next time, keep creating those laid-back vibes, and don't forget to subscribe for more lo-fi tips and tricks.